This is Misty. Thank you guys for joining today. We did have a little bit of technical difficulty, so this is actually a re-recording of the presentation that I did a little bit ago. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. There we go. So today's topic is you've been named as a fiduciary agent. What is next? Or as I like to say, you've been named in a will, but you aren't getting any money. But just a joke, it is an introduction to the roles and responsibilities that are named in different wills and documents to allow you to know what your role and responsibility might be, or what you've put people into that they may not be aware of. Okay, so again, my name is Misty with Ralston Law. I'm located here in Woodbury, just moved from Mantua, New Jersey, and my focus is really to ensure that families stay out of court and conflict when it comes to their estate planning, that they're able to help their families, protect their families with love and care, and being able to ensure that what they want to happen after they are gone actually does happen, and to protect themselves and their families in times when they can't make decisions or are incapacitated in some way. So as an introduction, the reason you're most likely here is because someone has chosen you to serve as a vital role in their estate plan. And you want to know what that means. You're interested in finding out why that is. You may have even been sent this webinar from me, this recording from me, just to let you know, or from your loved one, just to let you know the roles that they've planned for you and that they've asked you to serve. You know, so many times people come in, they make their decisions, they name people, and they don't always tell them. And then the people find out in the midst of tragedy or in the midst of grief and pain. So it's nice to give those people a heads up. So the first and most common role that we often see in estate planning is the executor or the executress of an estate. And what that means is you are going to be the person who is administering the will, making sure that what is said in the will is to happen actually does happen. You're responsible for making sure the debts get paid, making sure the assets are protected until they're distributed out to whom they should be distributed to. You're going to be in charge of ensuring the final tax return gets done for the decedent, for the person who's passed. So it's a lot of work. A lot of people will hire an attorney to handle that process for them, or at least to kind of hold their hand to make sure everything gets done. In New Jersey, we are blessed. Our probate system is easier than many states. You can probably get through probate in 6 to 9 months, where in some states it could take up to 2 to 3 years. So if there's no contest, there's no issues. A lot of times it can go smoothly. Sometimes there can be hiccups, and the executor is the person who's going to take care of all of that. The next person that might be named isn't when you pass, but this is a person that is when you're incapacitated and you're unable to make any kind of decisions on your own. And there are 2 main ones when it comes to powers. The first one being your general financial agent. Most people think of power of attorney. That's what we would call that. And the power of attorney is going to make any financial decisions. They're going to make sure that your rent gets paid, your bills get paid, tuition gets paid if you're in college. They're going to make sure that your health insurance continues to get paid. They may be the ones that file a lawsuit if there's been a personal injury or malpractice claim that they can do. So you have to trust that person, because that person is going to be making decisions for you, and they're going to make sure that everything continues to move forward as it should, protecting your assets, making sure that they're there so that when you're able to take over, when you're healthy from that stroke, from that addiction, from that heart attack, you can do that. And that's important. The next one we have is our healthcare agent, our medical power of attorney. Okay. This is the person that's going to look at your advanced medical directive. They're going to look at your living will, and they're the ones who make the final decision. They're the ones who are going to determine if you're going to get a second opinion. They're the ones who are going to make the decision as to whether or not you're going to be hooked up and receive any extraordinary means to staying alive. they're the ones who have to actually sit down and make the decision as when the time is to remove life support if you've been put on life support. They may be the person that has to choose between several treatment possibilities, evaluating the risks and the benefits and what's going to be best for you. So you want someone who is going to follow what you want and not where their heart leads. They may want to do everything to keep you alive, even if it's only alive for an extra 2 weeks or 3 weeks, where in your documents you stated you don't want that. You want to let go. You want to be able to not be hooked up to machines. So it's important that you choose someone that is able to do that, because that's not always the easy thing. Sometimes we think that the financial power of attorney is a lot more work, but the healthcare power of attorney, the healthcare agent, it's a lot more mental and emotional strength that is needed. Now, that's not to be confused with your HIPAA authorization. Your HIPAA authorization are people who can get information. They can call the hospital and say, did Johnny have a good night last night? Did his results come in? Things like that. They can get information, but they don't have the power to make decisions. Only your healthcare agent is going to be able to make those decisions for you. Okay. So now we have two kinds of guardians if you have children. You have your temporary guardian, and that is someone who is able to come. They're close by. They live 15, 20 minutes away. You guys, you go out, you get into a car accident. You're expected to be home at 11 o'clock at night. The babysitter's there. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Babysitter's mom is, saying you need to get home. Just call the police. These are the people that babysitter would reach out to and say, excuse me, hey, can you come over? Joe and Jen, Joe and Mike, Jenny and Alex, Jennifer and Margaret, whoever, haven't come home. They were supposed to be home a couple hours ago. I need to leave. Can you come and help me with the children and take them? And then we can let the police know what's going on. A temporary guardian could even be somebody who's got the kids for a few weeks. Sometimes kids go and stay with an aunt and uncle during the summer, or go on a cruise with someone, or go to the cruise or something like that. Go on vacation. The temporary guardian, you're going to want to make sure has a medical power of attorney for your kids to make sure if they trip, if they fall, if they sprain their ankle, they're able to get medical help for them. The responsibilities of that temporary guardian is really just to be there immediately for the kids and to help them cope with, which could be a very confusing and difficult time. So we really want those people to be someone that the kids are really familiar with, feel comfortable with, that have the ability to make them feel at ease. Because at this point, you may not know where they are, where you guys are. They may not know what's going on. They may not know why you haven't come home. You're going to be stressed enough, but you have to have somebody who is going to, they're going to be stressed enough, I should say, but you want to have somebody who is able to hide that stress a little bit. Remember, you want to make sure that they have the documentation in hand confirming, that they do have short-term guardianship, that they're able to take the kids in your absence, that they're able to make medical decisions. You want to make sure that they have all that, and then call the police and let them know, hey, listen, mom and dad are missing. We're not sure what's going on. I'm going to take the kids. And this way it keeps them out of social services having to come in and take them into protective custody, because that's the last option we really would want to happen. Now, our full-time guardians are the people who they may live far away. That's why you have temporary guardians. They might be the same because they live close by. So it could be the same, it could be different. You may have your sister's going to take your kids, but your sister lives in another state and a couple hours away, and it's wintertime. They can't get there because there's been snow. Maybe it's mom and dad who live 3,000 miles away. I don't know. But those guardians that are going to be taking over your children and raising your children, you want to make sure that they know how you want the children raised. Did you want them to be encouraged to go to college or trade school? Do you want to ensure that your kids are able to be active in sports, do community events? Do you want them to be in the Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts? There's a lot of things and a lot of activities that all of us have done. And you want your guardians to know your hopes, your dreams. They're going to be making a lot of the tough decisions, and you want them to not necessarily make them as they would, but as you would, and in the best interest of your kids. Okay. We also have pet guardians. You definitely want people to know that you have a pet at home. So if they do get a call that you're in the hospital or what have you, somebody has a key to your house that's able to go over, take care of the pet, take the pet with them to their house, and just ensure that that pet is taken care of. Finally, we have our successor trustees. So if your loved one has created a living trust, they've most likely done this because they wanted to protect their beneficiaries. They don't want their kids to get a large lump sum. They want them to get it in staggered amounts or when they're older. And therefore, they've named you as the person who kind of controls those purse strings. Okay. You're the person who is going to make the decision as to how the benefits or the assets will be distributed. You're going to be the one who's going to have to make the decision as to whether or not to sell or keep an asset. You're going to be the one who's going to help them make the decision as maybe where to go to college because of finances, what kind of car to purchase. You're the one who's going to have to say, no, I don't think your parents would want you to spend this money for you and 5 friends to go to the Super Bowl or a Taylor Swift concert. You're going to have to be almost a parent in a sense when it comes to the purse strings. And sometimes you may not be the guardian of the kids. It could be that you're the guardian. We have someone who's the guardian, and maybe the other side of the family is the trustee to give some sort of checks and balances and ensure both sides of the family have a relationship with the kids. And so that's sometimes you're going to have to work with other people to make sure that you're doing what's best to ensure that these assets are available as long as they possibly can. So those are the roles that we most often see in estate planning. And if your loved one have given you copies of the documents, you want to make sure you keep them in a safe place. They're most likely going to have a copy maybe of their healthcare power of attorney, their advance directive, their living will, and most importantly, the temporary guardianship paper, nomination papers that they've signed, as well as the medical for the kids, so that you can make sure that they get any kind of medical care if you're unavailable to help them. So if this has made you think about this for yourself, maybe you've realized that you need to get on the ball and get your own estate plan done or update your plan because you've named people that either no longer would be the best choice to serve in that capacity, please feel free to give me a call. I will be able to give you a free 2-hour wealth planning session valued at $750, as well as $250 towards any estate plan. You just have to give us a call, and you need to book that by the end of the year. I do have some spots available, and I hope to meet with you and help you develop a plan that's going to help you and your loved ones as well. You've been named in a loved one's plan, and that's a gift to their family because their family knows what's going on and knows what to expect. Let's make sure that you do the same. So if you have any questions, please reach out. I do wish you the best of luck, and thank you so much for attending today. Bye-bye.